here. Run! Hey, come back here. Clean up on aisle 16, 17, 18, and 19.
We lost them. Okay, now what do we do about the plastic bags?
Too bad people just can't put their groceries in some kind of big pouch like that guy.
Hey, yeah, that's it, Hal. You're a genius.
Again? I mean, how many times a day can someone be a genius? Ooh, so exhausting. I'm on it. Perfect. A cloth sack, nature cat style. They can put their groceries in a sack like this and use it over and over and over again.
And never have to throw it away. Does it? Brilliant, Hal.
Hey, listen, you guys, am I brilliant or am I a genius? I mean, but you guys gotta make up your minds here. You know, plastic bags are just that nature. Yeah, you're right.
Dick, man, oh man. You guys, this is unreal.
Earth Day every day.
You guys, this is unreal. People are loving our cloth shopping bags. No more plastic. Man, oh man. Our bring your own bag plan is a huge success.
Oh, what a way to celebrate Earth Day.
Viva
Do. Also,
Nice one!
water. Why did it have to be water?
Oh, you can do it, Nature Cat. It's for Earth Day.
Yes, I can. For Earth Day. Onward and get that plastic bottle word.
So we gotta hurry. We're headed for the ocean, and so is the bottle. Get that bottle!
Faster! The plastic bottle is getting away. I got it. Whoa! I didn't get it.
Almost got it. Stay frosty, Daisy. Stay frosty. Got it! Pull it up, Daisy. Hurry!
Whoa. So sorry again about all of this. I didn't.
Man, oh man. What do we do now?
Just leave it to me. Excuse me, plastic bottle. It's me, Al. We would appreciate it if you would stop floating for just a moment so that we can bring you into our raft. Huh? Come on in, baby. Pretty please. Oh, pretty please.
Get over here, you plastic! Now!
But I said please.
Ha-ha! Hold this steady, please.
Aye, Captain.
Steady. Whoa!
Nature Cat, come on, you got this, man!
Got you. Oh, come on.
Are you okay?
But of course, Nature Cat always gets his plastic bottle. Hey, come on. You gotta give me some props here. Pretty heroic how I got this one bottle. What? But how? Why?
Looks like our battle against plastic pollution isn't over yet. Nature!
Tally ho! Where did all this garbage come from? Not there.
Let's go out there and put a stop to this plastic once and for all. Feel the nature!
Paddle like you've never paddled before.
Aye, Captain.
Keep your eyes open for any plastic clues. Hey, you, fish.
Oh, hey, small land critter.
Sorry about you, Mr. Fish, but, do you know where all that trash comes from that washes up on the shore?
Way out there.
Oh, cool, thanks. Hey, paddling you,
Bingo. Plastic trash.
Man, oh man, look! Oh, this is so terrible.
So terrible.
Whoops, sorry about the shower. Just wanted to say thanks for picking up the plastic.
Just trying to do our part. It's Earth Day, you know.
Yeah, well, every day is Earth Day for us. You know what I mean?
We sure do, Mr. Dolphin, sir. We look out for nature every day.
We sure do. Also,
And you know my motto, people are nature.
Rutsies. No way. How'd all this trash get out here?
The trash just seems to come from everywhere. Blown in from land, by the wind, from ships at sea.
What? That's awful.
Yep, the wind and surf pulls it all out here. People are careless with their trash. This is what happens.
Hey, bird, please don't eat that.
No one seems to care.
We care.
We sure do, Mr. Dolphin, sir.
oh, more than you know, Mr. Dolphin. We care so much.
Yeah, we planted a butterfly garden, and we cleaned up a marsh. And look what else we
this Earth Day.
We are so with you.
As usual, Mouse is in.
Every day is Earth Day. You see that? Another plastic bag.
Plastic bags are bumming me out.
We gotta do something, Nature Cat.
Person, hold still.
We need to get into the store and show them what their bags are doing.
But how are we gonna get in there, Nature Cat?
A little disguise should do the trick. Plastic bags as far as the eye can see.
Okay, question. Who do we show the pictures to? Come on, you guys, we gotta find a manager.
Wow! Oops.
Wait up in aisle 3.
I can't believe it. They even sell plastic bags in boxes.
Wait up in aisle 7.
Oh, ow, hey, why'd you stop?
I smell. Yes. Dogerific doggy treats, my favorite.
Hal, let's keep it moving. Okay, come on. Whoa. I smell cheese. Hal, and for the cheese.
No, doggy treats.
Cheese.
I got an idea. Let's do doggy treats.
Mama needs her cheese.
Guys, stop before we... Meow?
Hey, no animals allowed in here. Run! Hey, come back here.
Wait up on aisle 16, 17, 18, and 19.
We lost them. Okay, now what do we do about the plastic bags?
Too bad people just can't put their groceries in some kind of big pouch like that guy.
Hey, yeah, that's it, Hal. You're a genius.
Again? I mean, how many times a day can someone be a genius? Ugh, so exhausting.
I'm on it. Perfect. A cloth sack, Nature Cat style. They can put their groceries in a sack like this and use it over and over and over again.
And never have to throw it away. Love it. Brilliant, Hal.
Hey, listen, you guys, am I brilliant or am I a genius? I mean, you guys gotta make up your minds here.
You know, plastic bags are just not good for nature.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, it's working! They're using our cloth bags! I declare Earth Day the best day of the year! Tally-ho!
What he said.
No more plastic bags. Viva la nature.
Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum, Teacher Fateh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Assalamualaikum, Teacher Fateh.
Waalaikumsalam. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. How are you guys? How are you?
Awesome.
Good, alhamdulillah. Okay. Sorry, my mic. I'm charging it right now, so I think it's. I have to plug it in. Give me a second. Okay. Oh, alhamdulillah. It's good. Okay, let's wait a few minutes for other people to show up. How's everyone's week so far?
Great.
But Adil, how are you? How's it going so far?
Alhamdulillah, it's been going good.
It's good?
Yeah.
It's good to hear. Raihan, how about you?
I'm doing good, alhamdulillah. It's a very peaceful weekend.
That's good, yeah. Peaceful weekend, yeah, inshallah, and then next week will be Ramadan, so inshallah, hopefully you guys are excited for that and so prepared for that too. Okay, Assalamualaikum, Basim. How are you? Good, alhamdulillah. Okay, I think we can just get started for now, inshallah. Oh, my least sick. Okay, hopefully you get better before Ramadan starts, inshallah. May Allah give you shifa and make it easy for you. Yeah, make sure to stay healthy if you can, so that when you start fasting, it's not going to be painful, right? You don't wanna try to suffer, right? So, all right, so inshallah, let's get started. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبي ورسوله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. And let's start with recitation of Surah Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Okay, so I think since last time we met, I think I did ask you guys for a little bit of homework, basically to come up with at least one or two goals for Ramadan, and also to one or two goals for Ramadan and a plan for how you will tackle those goals. So, and I think I already asked you guys last time, what are some goals that you guys have in mind? So maybe we can just go around and just basically we'll just go around and ask what is your goal for Ramadan, and then how will you achieve your goal? So what is your plan? So for example, I can start first. So for me, for example, my goal is to hatam the Quran, right? So I want to finish the whole Quran, right? During the month of Ramadan, inshallah.
And my plan to finish the whole Quran is to read at least a juz every day, right? So, one juz a day. Obviously, and I can break that up however I want. So, for example, I would like to read like half a juz after subuh and then half a juz after maghrib. Right? That's one plan, right? So that's like a plan that I can have. Of course, your goal doesn't have to be that. It can be anything else too, right? So, but the point is that you have a goal in mind. Right? It could be as big as small as you want. You don't have to read the whole Quran. If you want to just read, at least every day, that's also a good goal. Make sure you read every day, and then your plan for how you will do that. Okay. So let's go around, and I'll just ask, what's your goal and what's your plan? Okay. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe we'll start with Raihan. Would you like to start first?
So my goal for this Ramadan is to maintain good relations with my parents, siblings, friends, and myself. How I'll do that is basically I'll take care of my little brother and sister, my mom and dad, attend to their needs and all. And when my friends come calling, then I come and help them too.
Good, mashallah. Yeah, that's a really good goal, noble goal to have, inshallah. Yeah, jazakallah khair. Yeah, and also the plan makes sense, right? So yeah, you take care of your brothers, like you said, right? And your parents as well, if they have, and if your friends also ask for help, that's good too, right? Also, maybe what about every day, like your day to day? How will you work towards your goal? Do you have anything in mind? Like for example, chores or something like that. Or is this just is this just you gonna be taking care of your brothers? Is that your plan? Did you understand my question, Raihan? Or no? Okay, that's okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good goal though. That's a good goal. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah, thank you for sharing. Let's go to the next one. Pasha, what is your goal for Ramadan?
My goal is Salat Trawaheh at Atahir. Read Quran every day. Read Quran every day. Fasting. 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 No eat, no drink until sunset. Salat. Salat on time. Salat on time. Salat. Salat on time. Sol, pray five times a day.
Okay.
Pray pray five times a day. Pray 5 times a day, and many others.
Many. Okay. Wow, it's many goals, mashallah. That's good. So you said you will pray on time. So pray the 5 daily prayers.
5
times a day.
daily prayers.
Yes. And then you said you also fast, right? Fasting the whole month, inshallah, right? So no eating, no drinking. And also Salat Tarawih, right? You said
Salat Trawaheh.
Good, mashallah, that's good. Yeah, so that's good goals, inshallah, hopefully that's clear. And so your plan will be to basically make sure you pray on time and then make sure you fast. So will you also make sure to eat the sahur as well, right? So when you're to fasting.
And eat at sahur time.
Yeah. So your plan is to make sure you can fast and pray, and then you said you'll salat tarawih at the Masjid al-Tahir. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. So do you go with your parents then to the masjid?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that means you have good goal. And then make sure every night when you pray tarawih that you go with you can remind your parents to take you to the masjid. So I think that's a good goal and a good plan. So inshallah, hopefully it makes it easy for you. Cool. Let's go next. Adil.
One of my goals for Ramadan
Sounds good.
Is to develop good habits.
like maybe like reading Quran after every salah, and
Okay.
like maybe like remove any bad habits that I have.
Okay. So improving your habits, that's your goal. Okay. And then you mentioned specifically reading Quran as one of them, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then so is what is your plan to achieve those goals? Like what is like one thing you can try to do?
Like maybe after salah, I can like read like one page every day.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That's a good plan. Yeah. So yeah, you can basically set a time, like for example, after Maghrib or Asr or whatever prayer is comfortable for you, right? Make sure you can just remember, okay, after this prayer, I'm going to read one page, right? And that's it, right? So just set a clear goal that you can do, right? And then inshallah, if you keep doing it consistently, it'll be a habit, right? So that's basically Ramadan, right? That's one of the virtues of Ramadan. It's a month, right? It's a blessed month, and it also helps us form good habits, right? So inshallah, hopefully, may Allah make it easy for you. Okay, so let's go next. Basim, would you like to share your goal and your plan to achieve that goal? We're going to try to eat less salty foods before sunrise while also drinking more water. Caused problems for me last year. Okay, so eating and drinking healthier. Okay, that's good. That's a good goal, right? Because yeah, sometimes people go into Ramadan and they are actually become less healthy afterwards because of all of the good food for iftar and sahur, right? You eat too much, I don't know, meat or something, right? So,
And
yeah,
of
eating healthier is
course,
good.
iftar and sahur.
Yes, right. So that's a good plan or a good goal. Yeah, Ryan, yeah, feel free, inshallah. So Basim, yeah, and what's your plan? Like, what are you planning to like eat? Like, what is going to be like your diet, or how are you going to achieve this goal? Cooking some Indonesian food. Okay, so meal prep is that what you mean? Like, basically, you cook them beforehand and then you eat it after. Is that what you mean? Okay, I see. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So, yeah, if you can cook and do meal prep yourself, that's really good, right? So you don't have to, when you wake up, you rush and eat something quick, right? You don't have to eat, um, rush to eat something that might not be healthy. So that's good, alhamdulillah. Yeah. And the only thing is, make sure if you're gonna cook while you're fasting, right? Make sure you don't like accidentally taste the food. You don't want that to happen. So. But yeah, if you can do that, that'd be really good, right? So also, if you can cook also, right, for your family, that's also a good thing too. Maybe you can also share your food with, your family. So I don't know, that's a really good goal. And eating healthier, making sure to stay healthy is also good, right? Because we also want to make sure you take care of your sleep too, right? Because if you're going to be staying up late to Salat Tarawih, for example, then we need to make sure that we're not like too tired. So, okay, Jazakallah, thank you for sharing, Basim. And then Yuki, Assalamualaikum. Would you like to share a goal, your one goal you have for Ramadan, and what is your plan for that goal? Okay, so my goal is to do one khatam as well as membership to surah. MashaAllah, wow, that's really ambitious goal. 15 new surah, and khatam, that's good. Inshallah, may Allah make it easy. So, how are you planning to achieve this goal, Yuki, Yuta? Like, what is your plan? my plan is to do one juz a day. So I do one surah every 2 days. Wow, memorize one surah every 2 days and read one page every day or one juz. That's good, alhamdulillah. So what surah is Yuta going to memorize? Is it like juz 30, like the last juz, or is it a different juz? Do you know? Last juz was juz 30? Okay. Inshallah, that's good, yeah. Yeah, inshallah, yeah. Hopefully it's easy, right? So as long as you're consistent, right? Even if you don't achieve, so for everyone, right? Even if you don't achieve your goals, as long as you make the effort, that's what matters, right? Remember the first hadith, right, that we learned is that innamal a'malu binniyat, right? That every action is by intention, right? So, even if you for some reason, you couldn't, achieve your goal for some reason, right? Inshallah, hopefully everyone achieves their goals, but for some reason, right? If you can make the effort, right, being consistent, that's why the plan is important, right? That we want to make sure we have a plan, right? So like every day, think about your goal and what is your plan for that day, right? So if your plan is to khatam the Quran, to finish the Quran, or even just read the Quran, then at least your goal for that day is to execute your plan, right? So like for example, Adil, right, he wants to read the Quran every day, right? So make sure you have that goal for the day to read the Quran. Even if you might think, oh, like I don't think I can do the whole Quran the whole month. That's okay, right? As long as you for that day, even if it's a little bit, like even if it's just one ayah, even if you read one ayah, right? As long as you're consistent, then that's what matters, right? Because that's why there's the hadith, right, that says Allah prefers the one that does small deeds every day, right, consistently. He loves that more than someone who does a lot of good, like big deeds in one day, right? So someone who does does all the ibadah every day one day and then forgets it later on, right? But he actually prefers one that just does a small deed every day, right? The consistency. Okay, so that's what matters, right? So everyone clear, right? So inshallah, hopefully everyone has a goal in mind, right, and a plan. So and you can start now, right? You don't have to wait until Ramadan to start it, right? So like I said last time, remember this is the month of Shawwal, right? And the month of Shawwal, we learned that the Prophet ﷺ, like this was his favorite month because this is the month that people usually neglect. It's like the month before Ramadan where people are usually like trying to indulge in everything right before Ramadan starts, right? But actually, right, this is the month in which we try to establish the habits early, right? Because when Ramadan starts, we want to be able to take advantage of Ramadan, right? Because if you come into Ramadan and you can't do your plan now, it's going to be hard, right? So if you can, maybe like starting tomorrow, for example, if you haven't already done this, right, try to see if you can do your plan. So for example, if your plan is to read the Quran every day, right, then try starting tomorrow. Okay, set aside some time. Okay, just read the Quran. Like even if it's not one page, right, just try to read at least start reading it, right? So that every day, if you start now, when Ramadan comes next week, it's going to be easier, right? Because then you're already used to it, right? So if you start now, it'll be very easy, right? That's why we have this month of Shawwal, right? Is to help us prepare for Ramadan. Okay, and then and for everything else too. Like for example, you want to be kinder to your parents and your siblings, right? You can just start now. You don't have to wait until Ramadan to be, you can just be, try to help out around more of the house, try to, try to be kinder, try to, maybe, give gifts or etc. You can start doing these things now, right? You don't have to wait until next week to do it, right? Because once you start it now, it's going to be easy to do it next week. Okay? Is that clear? Everyone understand?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So inshallah. So we're going to we're going to read the Quran, right? So we're going to talk about some verses that talk about Ramadan. Let me just pull it up first. So first of all, right, what is the significance of Ramadan? Does anyone know? Let's start with that. Why is the month of Ramadan important? Who can tell? And there are several reasons, of course, but yeah, let's hear what is the significance of the month of Ramadan. is the most significant reason? Okay, it helps discipline us. Okay, that's one of the virtues, right? It's the blessings of Ramadan, and it helps to discipline us. That's correct. Yes, right. But why is Ramadan like just the like what is the significance of it in the history, right, of Islam? Like what significant event happened during Ramadan? Anyone know? The Quran was revealed. Yes, right. So the Quran was revealed in this month, right? And anyone remember the event that happened when and where the Quran was revealed? Okay, it is in the cave. Laylatul Qadr. Yes, right. So in the last 10 nights, right? So that's when the Quran was revealed, right, to the Prophet ﷺ in the cave of Hira, right? So, right, if you remember the story, right, that the Prophet used to meditate in the cave of Hira, right? Every day before the Quran was revealed, he used to meditate, right? And then one night, right, that was when the angel Jibreel alayhi salam, right, came down and revealed the first verses, right, of the Quran, which was Surah Iqra, right? Iqra, bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, read. Okay, I think we talked about this a couple months ago, right? That this was the first verses revealed. Okay, and we, of course, the Quran is the right, our guidebook, right, for humanity, and that's why it is very important. Right? It's a very important book for us, and it was revealed during this month, right? So, and Allah then designated this month to be the month in which we fast, right? In which we fast and which we, increase our iman and our ibadah, right? So we basically increase our acts of worship during this month, right? Right, to because it is it is decreed by Allah, right? So let me share my screen. Okay. Right, so this is also mentioned in the Quran, right? That Allah says He's revealed so in the month book. So would anyone like to read the ayah here? Who would like to volunteer to read? So this ayah here, 2185, is it big enough?
Yes.
Okay. Would anyone like to volunteer to read the Arabic here, the Quran? Maybe Pasha, would you like to volunteer to read this?
Me. Yes.
Okay. Arulu.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم شهر شهر را شهر شهر رمضان الذي أنزل أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم فليصم صم وما كان وما كان
ومن كان
ومن ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون.
Okay, and then who would like to read the English translation?
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed as a gate for humanity with clear proofs of guidance and the decisive authority. So whoever is present this month, let them fast. But whoever is ill or on a journey, then let them fast for an equal number of days after Ramadan. Allah intends ease for you, not hardship, so that you may complete this prescribed period and proclaim the greatness of Allah for guiding you, and perhaps you will be grateful.
Okay, thank you, Pasha and Raihan, for the recitation and the translation. Yes, so this is this is the ayah that talks about fasting in the month of Ramadan, right? So, right, as we can see, right, in the Quran, Allah says that Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed as a guide for humanity with clear proofs of guidance and the decisive authority. So whoever is present this month, let them fast, right? So this is the evidence that in the Quran, Allah commanded us to fast, right, in this month of Ramadan. Okay, and of course we know this is also one of the 5 pillars of Islam, right? Okay, and then also, right, it's mentioned here that whoever is ill or on a journey, then let them fast an equal number of days after Ramadan, right? So this means, right, that if you are sick, so inshallah, hopefully, we won't be sick, right? So, like Basim, hopefully, inshallah, you get better. But if you are very sick during Ramadan, then it is okay for you to not fast, right? Because, Allah does not want us to suffer, right? Because, He does not force us to fast if you are unable to. Okay, so, like, for example, I was, last year or 2 years ago, I actually got COVID. I think, the last couple of days of Ramadan, right? For during Eid, right? So when that happened, right, I was, I basically couldn't eat, I couldn't fast properly, right? So I had to skip some days at that time, right? So when that happens, right, that means then you can skip the fasting, but you would make it up later, right? So some people, if they miss some days during fasting, then you can make up the days later, right? Later in the year, like you can do it in Shawwal, sorry, yeah. So you can do it in Shawwal, or you can do it in another month, or some people like to delay it. As long as you can try to do it, you try to do it as soon as possible, or before the next Ramadan happens, right? So, or if you're traveling too. So if you're, for example, traveling somewhere during Ramadan, you can also skip your fasting then, because sometimes it's hard for you to maintain your food and drink during that time. Like if you're traveling on a plane, right? You can skip fasting, right? Ideally, you try not to schedule your travels during the month, right? So if you're planning to travel somewhere, try to do it after Ramadan, right? Or before Ramadan, right? Like, some people try to, when you want to celebrate your Eid in Indonesia, for example, like you want to go, your parents might want to go back, right? So sometimes you might travel, right before Eid happens, and during that time, it is permissible for you to not fast, right? Because let's say you're traveling, like how long does it take to go back? Like, for example, 20 hours on a flight, right? Imagine going 20 hours, and then you don't know the timing, right? Because, like, if it's Fajr now, let's say like you left like right after Fajr, and then 20 hours you go back, to Indonesia, but then you don't know exactly what time to follow, right? So it might get confusing. So in those cases, it's okay for you not to fast, right? So you basically you can skip the day and make it up later, right? But obviously we want to make sure to take advantage of this month, right? Because this month, as we know, is a very blessed month, right? There are many virtues to fasting, right? And in fasting, especially in the month of Ramadan, right? This is like, think of it like a bonus, right? Imagine that you play, you guys like to play video games, and like in the video game, there's like a bonus round, right? And you want, obviously in the bonus round, your score is multiplied by like 7,000 times, right? You don't want to pass the opportunity up, right? So and Laylatul Qadr is even going to be much higher, right? It's going to be like 1,000 years worth, right? Or 1,000 months worth, I mean, right? So 83 years worth of reward, right? So obviously we don't want to miss that opportunity. So we want to take advantage of this month as much as possible, right? So that's why, we try to make preparations now. If we try to eat healthier, like Wasim said, try to make sure you maintain your health. And then if you have any plans for travel or anything like that, if you can delay it after Ramadan, then that would be better, right? So that you don't have to make up your fasting later on. Okay? Right? And also, right, something important here is that Allah, that Allah's in here that says that Allah intends ease for you, not hardship, right? So that fasting is meant to be easy, right? So even if it's, if you feel like you're struggling, even if you're not like sick or something, right, then obviously in those cases, it's okay for you to break your fast too, right? Inshallah, we hope to fast the full 30 days, but sometimes things happen and you can break your fast, and that's okay, right? We don't want to push ourselves too much, right? Like it's the same thing with salat, right? Even with prayer, right? There's also the hadith that says that if you're unable to pray standing, at least try to pray sitting, right? And if you can't pray sitting, like sitting down, it's okay to pray sitting down if you're unable to pray standing for some reason. And if you can't pray sitting down, then at least pray lying down. Right? And if you can't pray lying down, with your eyes, then at least, try to make the intention to pray. Right? So in Islam, everything is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be difficult for you. It's supposed to be easy for us. Right? So, and the same thing goes for, treating other people. Like sometimes, right, when we're fasting and we see someone else not fasting, right, it's easy to be like, hey, like, why are you eating? You're not, it's Ramadan, like, don't eat, right? You're supposed to be fasting, right? But that's not the point of Ramadan. Ramadan is not, fasting is not supposed to be for us to brag about it, right? So remember the intention, right? Like, if you're fasting because you're trying to show off your fasting, that's different from fasting for the sake of Allah, right? So, if you, for example, see someone that's eating, like maybe say your little brother or sister, maybe they're too young to fast, right? Don't try to, brag that you're fasting to them, and try to feel bad, right? That could be another, thing like I have, like your goal, right, is to try to be kinder to your siblings and your parents. This could be one thing you can do, right? Don't try to, make them feel bad that they're not fasting, or that, you're doing more worship than them, right? But, you can be a good example. Like say, for example, you want them to read Quran with you, or you want them to just pray with you, you can invite them. Like, hey, I'm going to pray Dhuhr now. You want to join me? Right? That could be like a good plan to have, right? So try to invite them to do more ibadah with you, like, or you can, for example, you want to read Quran as well, try to invite them to do that, or you want to, help them with other things too, like even with their homework or with chores or anything at all, right? So, make it easy for them. Don't make it hard for them, right? So because, Allah makes it easy for us, so we want to also try to make it easy for everyone else as well. Okay, so, don't make it hard for them. And also remember, right, does anyone know what the purpose of fasting is? Why do we fast? Okay. What is the purpose of fasting?
To put us into the perspective of the people who are less fortunate than us, that have to search for food, sometimes for most of the day, and then by the evening they sometimes like get some, or they may not find any, and they go and then they sleep hungry.
Okay, so that is one of the effects of fasting, I would say. So it's not the purpose of fasting, right? So fasting, obviously, when we fast, it teaches us gratitude, right? Because like you said, we learn what it's like not to eat or drink, right? So if you learn what people are like, people who are less fortunate that don't eat or drink, it helps us become more gratitude, and also, gives us empathy to feel what those people feel. That's correct, yes. But that's not the purpose of fasting actually in Islam, right? That teaches us the gratitude and empathy, but there's actually a larger purpose for fasting itself. Right? Does anyone know what that is? Right, so remember what the origin of fasting is, right? So in this verse and also in the hadith, right? And yes, it's taqwa, right? So taqwa, right? Taqwa is to be conscious, God consciousness, increase taqwa, yes. Right, so like everything in Islam, right? Our whole purpose, what is our purpose on this life? Remember, if you go back to the very first thing, right? Our purpose, right? Why did Allah create us? Well, can anyone tell me? What is the purpose of Allah's creation? Does Allah need to create us? That's another question. Anyone? Does Allah need to create us? Yes or no? Does he need us? I mean, no, right? Right? Allah is, right, the all powerful, right? He is, Rabbul Alameen, right? The Lord of all things, right? He doesn't need the creation, right? So why did He create us, right? It's also mentioned in the Quran as well. Right? Why did Allah create us? What is the purpose of our existence? Okay, to test us, but more specifically, basically He created us to test us to worship Him, right? That is the purpose, right? So all the creations, right, all the angels, everything in this world, all the living beings, right, when they're created solely to worship Allah, right? That is the purpose. And humans, right, the insan, right, the humanity, right, has the, has the honor of being the representatives on this world, right? And in this world right now, right? Allah put us in this world to test us to see if we will worship Him. Right? That is why we live on this world, right? So that's why, He sent down the prophets, the books, right, down to this world to guide us, right, to relay the message, right? The message of Islam is, right, what is the message? Is to La ilaha illallah, right? The message of Tawheed, right? Of the oneness of Allah, right? To worship Allah, and then to acknowledge that the La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, right? That there's one God and Muhammad is His messenger, right? That is the very basic, the origin of Islam, right? And so, fasting specifically, right, is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, right? We learned that the fasting is one of the 5 pillars, right? And those 5 pillars are all, the purpose of them is to increase our taqwa, basically to increase our awareness of Allah. That we believe that we fast because Allah commanded us to do that. Right? So of course we also learn, like Raihan said, when we fast, we learned how to show gratitude. We learn, empathy for other people who are suffering as well. So inshallah, when we fast, we also try to, be more grateful. Right? We also try to be more generous. Like say, okay, I shouldn't be eating too much. I should try to donate more food and money. Right? That's a good thing too. Right? But the purpose, right? The reason why we fast is not that specifically. The reason we fast is because Allah commanded us to. Right? And that's for everything in Islam. Every good deed, everything we do, right? Whether it's donating charity, whether it's praying, right? Whether it's doing Hajj, pilgrimage, whether it's being kind to your parents, your siblings, whether it's reading Quran, everything we do, right? It's all for the sake of increasing our taqwa, increasing our, and worshiping Allah, right? Increasing our ibadah. Does that make sense? Is everyone clear on the purpose?
Yes.
Right? So remember, everything is for the sake of Allah, right? And And that's the most important thing, right? And it is actually in the same surah earlier, right? That is mentioned here as well. Right. So let's read again. Would anyone else like to read the Quran here? So this is ayah 2183.
Make it bigger.
I think this is as big as I can make it. Or here. Okay. Yeah. Would anyone like to volunteer to read the Arabic here?
Me.
Okay, Pasha, you can go again, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام والصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
Okay. And then who would like to read the English? Maybe someone else? Adil, are you able to read the English here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All believers, fasting is prescribed for you as it was for those before you. So perhaps you will become mindful of Allah.
Okay. Thank you. And so yeah, this is exactly what we just mentioned, right? That in the Quran, right, Allah says fasting is prescribed for you as it was for those before you. So perhaps you will have taqwa. So becoming mindful of Allah, that means to have taqwa, right? To have God consciousness, right? And God consciousness, what does that mean exactly, right? So basically, right, remember the concept of ihsan or of ihsan, right? Basically, to have ihsan means to worship Allah as if you see Him, and if you can't see Him, know that He sees you, right? So, right, to have taqwa, basically, like that means you are always thinking, right, that Allah is always in your mind, right, whenever you do anything, right. So for like if you're gonna do a good deed, right, you always remember that this is you're doing this for the sake of Allah, right. So like when you do your goals, right, whether you're gonna read Quran, whether you're gonna pray Tarawih, whether you're gonna be kind to your your family, right, you always keep Allah in your mind, right. That's what it means to have taqwa. Right, so that okay, I'm doing this not because I want to show off, not because the teacher told me to, but I want to do this for the sake of Allah. Right, that's what it means to have taqwa. Right, to have mindfulness of God. Okay, and same thing if you're gonna like, for example, like this will also help you from developing bad habits. Right, so like if you want to stop doing like a sin or you want to stop doing something bad that's bad for you, like you don't want to eat unhealthy food, just think, okay, I want to eat healthy food because I want to do more good deeds for the sake of Allah, right? That's also taqwa, right? That's also keeping God in your mind, right? So anything you do, right, whether it's for at home, at school, at work, or wherever, right? We want to have taqwa. We always want to have Allah in our mind, right? So like because we know that Allah is always watching us, right? Everything we do, right? Even if we don't like to admit it, right? Allah is all seeing, right? He sees everything we do. He knows all of your, your good deeds, your bad deeds, your weaknesses, your strengths, and everything, right? So to have taqwa means to always be cognizant of this, to always keep that in mind, right? So that's why fasting. But if you're fasting, right, you're basically not drinking or eating, right? Imagine, right? One of the fundamental needs of humans is what? Like it's food, drink, food and water, and probably like shelter, right, and clothing. Right, those are kind of like the fundamental things, and you're basically foregoing two of them, right? To eat and drink, right? If you don't eat or drink for too long, what happens? You'll get malnourished, and eventually, you'll die, basically, right? You cannot go too long without eating or drinking, right? It's a fundamental need of humans, and yet, right, in Islam, right, Allah tells us to stop eating or drinking for 17 hours, 17, 18 hours, right? So when we do this, right, you don't do this naturally, right? You don't, naturally when you wake up, usually you want to eat breakfast, you eat food, you drink water, right? But if you intentionally stop this act, right, of like not eating or drinking, what happens, right? You're thinking, oh, I'm doing this because I'm fasting, and why am I fasting? It's for the sake of Allah, right? If you know that the purpose of fasting is for the sake of Allah, then you'll automatically think, oh, I'm doing this, to remember Allah. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? And of course, when we remember Allah, then all the good things happen too, right? Because the remembrance of Allah, like if you remember Allah, then you'll also remember all the good things. Like you'll remember to be grateful. You'll remember to do good deeds. You'll abstain from bad deeds. You'll be kinder. You'll be you'll be more generous, right? All the good qualities, right? If we remember Allah, inshallah, then we also try to remember the qualities of Allah as well, right? So that we try to be more merciful. We try to be all the things that to emulate Allah as well, and also the Prophet ﷺ, right? Okay. Is that clear? Any questions so far? And there's also many blessings, right, for fasting too, right? So when we fast in the month of Ramadan, right, if you fast sincerely, then it also erases your sins too, right? So it's also mentioned, right? If we fast in the month of Ramadan and we abstain from sin and to complete our fast sincerely, then inshallah, then we will also, it's also meant to purify us as well, right? Think of Ramadan like as like a clean slate. Like we use Ramadan as a way to clean ourselves so that when we exit Ramadan, we are better, right? So the Prophet ﷺ said that the real losers, the ones who actually are like the losers of this life, are those who go into Ramadan and exit worse than they entered it, right? Or like basically they didn't improve, right? So basically, if you enter Ramadan in one way and then you come out of it like worse, then that's actually those are the real like losers in life, basically. So that's why we want to use Ramadan as a way to improve ourselves, right? Like you guys said, right? This is a way for us to discipline ourselves, to improve our habits, right? So that's why we set these goals, right? When we set these goals, right, it's meant to improve us, right? So where that after we exit Ramadan, inshallah, we'll have new good habits to have, right? And then we can continue these for the rest of our life, right? So if your goal is to read Quran, inshallah, we try to read more Quran afterwards as well. If you want to be kinder to your parents, then inshallah, you'll hopefully emulate that for the rest of your life, right? You can be kinder as well, right? Or whether it's praying or any goal you have, right? We try to improve our character in this month of Ramadan, right? Okay. So let me see if there's anything else. Okay. Inshallah, hopefully that's clear. I think that's the main thing, right? So remember that what the purpose of fasting is, right? So in Ramadan, right, we fast, right, every day, right? So it's important that we understand why we fast, right? So if you don't, that if we remember that fasting is for us to increase our taqwa, then that'll inshallah lead to better things too. Okay. And then also remember your goals and your plan for your goals too, right? So like I said, I told you guys if you could write it down somewhere, that would be good, right? Or you could put it on your phone or your computer so that you can, whenever you look at, then you'll remember your goal, right? So this is something that you can do and that you can try to do every day, right? So every day, try to be consistent with your goal, right? So if you have something you want to do that day, make sure that you remember, okay, this day I have to do this, right? So every day you do that to achieve your goal. Okay, so you break your goal up bit by bit, right? So like it's easy when you're reading Quran. Like if you want to read like a page a day, make sure you read. Okay, I want to read this page today, and then tomorrow I'm going to read the next page, right? So and so on, right? So you try to set those goals every day so that you can achieve your goal, inshallah. Okay. So with that, I think that's all I wanted to share. So inshallah, I said that this is going to be the last halaqah before Ramadan starts. There is also going to be, I think I just saw that there's going to be a tilawah session, so Quran reading session with the other Yale mentors, I believe. I'll share the link. So if you are already able to read the Quran, you guys can join this. So this basically will just be going in a circle and reading Quran together online as well. So I'll also share the link. You guys can join that if you are able to recite the Quran along with other people as well. Right? It's also a good way for you to achieve your goal. Right? If you want to read the Quran more, then I suggest you guys also join this. So I'll share the link, inshallah. Okay. If nothing else, then Ramadan, may Allah, grant us closer to Ramadan and help us also to achieve all the goals we set for Ramadan. I mean, right? Okay, so if there's any more questions, or if you guys have any more questions, you can also use the WhatsApp, inshallah. Okay. Right. So with that, let's close for today, and then with the kafarat al-majlis and dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد رب اغفر لي ولوالدي وارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا اللهم ربنا سد البأساء اشفي أنت الشافعي لا شفاء إلا شفاءك شفاء لا يغادر سقما اللهم رزقنا رزقا ناسيا كثيرا حلالا طيبا مباركا في القاصدين اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من زوال نعمتك ونعوذ بك من تحول عافيتك ونعوذ بك من فجيئة نقمتك ونعوذ بك من شر سخطك ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Okay. Jazakumullah everyone, and I'll see you guys after Ramadan, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for joining us, Teacher Fateh. Goodbye and have a great day.